Okay guys, so today we're going to be checking out both Lunk and Bitcoin on the charts here real quick. Now this is Lunk. I just pulled it up here on the daily, and we see that it's looking really good on this current rise that it's in here today. Now just recently we just had this green candle here. Check out this green candle, guys. We had this, I think it was 2 days ago. Notice that it had closed without any wicks at all. That is very good. That there is indicating bullish momentum. It's basically saying that the bulls are in control right here. You see, guys, that is just very, very good. That's what we want to see. So where's headed next? We have to pull it up on the weekly to see where it's going next. Now we saw that it didn't even hesitate at this level of resistance right here. It plowed right through it. We didn't even have much of a pullback right here. I was expecting some type of pullback. We didn't have none. We plowed right through it. So that's good. But however, I do believe we're going to have our pullback somewhere around here from anywhere from 3015 to 3018 is where I'm expecting a nice pullback. And as you guys can see, that's where this wick, this candle here had topped out. So it is going to be acting as a level of resistance once again. So if we come back down here also, we see that we currently have, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green weekly candles so far, guys. And what does that tell you? That tells you that very soon now we're going to be printing a red candle on the weekly for Bitcoin. That means we're going to have a red week coming up very soon, because the more of these green weekly candles we have is the more sure or nearer it is for us to print a red candle. As you guys can see over here, we similarly had several of these green weekly candles before it proceeded to dump, to create several other red candles afterwards. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles, 5 consecutive green candles over here. And so we're printing a number of these green weekly candles. The same thing is happening over here. And perhaps we will do basically the same thing, because Lunk is going parabolic. It's just going straight up, guys. Look at this. Even more than this over here. You see, it's going almost vertical. So you can be sure that that pullback is coming very, very soon. And I've just highlighted to you guys where I'm expecting it to occur, from around the 3015 to the top of this wick over here at 3018. People are going to be taking profits around this area. And so I'm expecting it to come up there, and then we're going to have a pullback. You guys get some idea of how big the pullbacks can get. Look at this one, the first one. It dropped from, let's call it from the 3018. From the 3018, it dumped from all the way up there, all the way down to 301. So that's a big dump right there. Not to say that it's going to, behave the exact same way as it did in the past. No, it's just giving you a basic idea of what will, potentially occur, because nothing goes straight up as you're witnessing here. Look at this. It's almost vertical, guys. And that's telling you it without question that the big dump is coming. Now, after we have that temporary sell-off, we can expect it to come all the way back up here next. This is where it's coming next. After that sell-off, I don't know exactly where that sell-off may go, but judging off this candle here, as I've just showed you guys, it may come all the way back down to 301. But after that sell-off, it's going to pump even higher than 3018. It's going to come all the way up here to 3025, where we may potentially have another profits taken zone. Potentially, I'm going to use, but it's most definitely coming up here. But regardless of all of that, after I take out my profits from the money that I borrowed, I plan to ride Lunk all the way up to around 1 cent. That is my plan. So you guys do with that information what you will. I don't think it shows up on the monthly. But either way, guys, Lunk is pretty bullish even now, and I'm expecting it to go much higher. It is most definitely coming up here, up at this area right here. It is coming up here at least before we have a sell-off. You know, before we have people taking profits and we print a red weekly candle for Lunk, most definitely. So now let's go ahead and check out Bitcoin. Okay, guys, so this is Bitcoin on the daily. And Bitcoin appears to be within this channel here, which, by the way, is pretty bearish. Okay, so Bitcoin appears to be in a bear flag, guys. This would be like the flagpole, and this would be the flag itself in a very protracted bearish pattern, a bear flag. That's what Bitcoin appears to be in currently. So it's looking bearish, obviously. However, prophetically, guys, prophetically, Bitcoin and crypto in general, especially the blue chips and Bitcoin, it appears if very soon they're about to flip bullish. And I have my reasons why I say this. Currently, things are playing out prophetically, which tells me that there's going to be a pump coming for Bitcoin and the blue chip coins very soon, regardless of the fact that Bitcoin is currently in a bear flag on the daily. And if we, let me pull it up on the weekly here. See, even on the weekly, it's still in a bear flag. Yeah, guys. So this is Bitcoin on the weekly. And we see that it's attempting to come up to this purple line, which it will most definitely use as resistance, because the area that it's currently in, it's facing very strong, very powerful resistance, guys. That's why it's been here for so long. And on the monthly charts, you'll be able to see it better. On the monthly charts here, obvious, the first thing that you see is that it's preparing to create a death cross right here with this purple line. Whenever the blue line crosses the purple line, that will be a death cross. But aside from the death cross, guys, it's been using this purple line here. Notice that we're beneath this purple line here. And so long as Bitcoin remains beneath this purple line, Bitcoin is still pretty much very bearish. It has been using this purple line as resistance these past 3 months. 1, 2, now we're on the third. These past 3 months, including this one here, it's still currently, because if you notice, let's see if I can maximize this here. Look at that. Each of these monthly candles, that was April. In April, it came right and touched it, got rejected. Why? Because it's using it as resistance. And we just recently touched it as well. You see? And got rejected again. Now, what we want to see is, in order for Bitcoin to become bullish, it would have to pump above this purple line and then start closing candles above here in order for it to start getting bullish. Now, what could cause Bitcoin to get above this purple line? I can only imagine one thing currently, because as it is right now, it's pretty bearish. It's important that we know what Bitcoin is going to do, guys, because unfortunately it affects every other else cryptocurrencies. But not to worry, because what I think is going to happen is either one of two scenarios. Because prophetically, like I said, things are happening that tells me that the manufactured spike is coming very soon. And why is it the manufactured spike? It was made clear to me in that experience that I shared with you, I think it was a couple of years ago, that it was deliberately done. It was engineered. You see, the pump that is coming is not by accident at all. It was deliberate. The pump, and I'm gonna call it a pump and dump. I saw where one candle got up. It did this candle did not start from zero, so I know that the manufactured spike for Bitcoin will not begin from zero. It began from mid-air. So I'm thinking it's either from somewhere around here or from 49K or even 20K. I don't know exactly where, but it was not from the ground. It wasn't from zero. But all I know is that one candle got up and pumped all the way to $133,000. You see, and it was clear to me that it was deliberately done. And then in another experience, it was also made known to me as well that it was the governments that did this. You see, they did something and it caused Bitcoin to just took off, and all of cryptocurrency, cryptos became bullish. And they were trying to, how should I put this? It was my understanding that they deliberately was trying to crash everything. You see, they were deliberately trying to crash the whole thing, all of cryptos. So they're going to unleash it, but it's not going to be good for crypto the way they do it. I'm trying my best to explain to you guys what I sensed in the experience. Even though it was pumping, it was not necessarily good for cryptos at all. So it may be good in the short term, but it's going to cause it to crash. You see, everything is going to crash as a result of what they're going to do. So in that experience as well, it was very important that people take profits, because I remember in it, I saw that some people were sitting down in the plane and they had their seatbelt on, which means that they thought that the bull run was going to continue and they were safe. But as for myself, the Spirit of the Lord led me to get up and to position myself at the back door of the plane with my bag on my back. So all my crypto bags, they were on my back. And I positioned myself to get ready to jump out of the plane, because I just could feel it, that this plane was about to end in a disaster, that it was about to crash. And the moment that I jumped out of the plane, I landed right on my feet, and the plane proceeded to crash and exploded on the side of the hill and rolled all the way down, and everyone died. I saw him taking out bodies. It was on the news. It was just terrible. So what's getting ready to occur is a massive pump, the manufactured spike, which will be caused by the governments. They will do it deliberately, and it's going to set up the biggest crypto crash we've ever seen, a crash of biblical proportions, guys. And many people are going to be completely wiped out and liquidated, unfortunately. So I want to make you guys aware, so that you don't get caught up in their manipulation in this space. So it's either one of two scenarios is what I'm thinking, because I'm not entirely sure as to how it will play out exactly. Either Bitcoin come this May, because I just recently heard, I think one of those people there from Washington, I think, talking about they're going to finalize the Clarity Act in this month of May.
We are going to mark up the Clarity Act in May. We are going to get it to the finish line.
And so my thinking is, if they were to pass that Clarity Act and get it finished, which I don't think it's going to be May, that would be actually a surprise. It would be more like in June. But this is what I'm thinking. If they were to pass that Clarity Act, whether it's in May, even probably the end of May, or in June, I don't know. If they were to pass it, then we would have the markets reacting to it in a speculative pump. And that could very well be the trigger for the manufactured spike, because it would be they themselves who would deliberately do it. You see, I'm thinking that that's what would cause the manufactured spike. They would pass the Clarity Act, and then we would have that green candle for Bitcoin, lifting up. In the experience, it appeared to be on the daily or the weekly. That's how fast That would be like the biggest green candle that Bitcoin has ever had in its history. We've never seen anything like that. It would be a Bitcoin God candle, and it would trigger other God candles in several other cryptocurrencies. The whole markets would turn bullish. It's just that some coins would pump more than others. But that candle would be the sign, the ultimate sign of the Bitcoin flash crash to zero. You see, and this is all based off of everything that Yah revealed to me. So it's either one of two scenarios. It's either Bitcoin's going to continue to consolidate where it's currently at these prices until suddenly they come out with news that they're going to pass, or they pass the Clarity Act rather, and then the candle just lifts up from where it's currently at, or Bitcoin is going to continue to get rejected at this purple line, then dumps down to that 49K that I've been calling for, right at the base of this candle right here, 49K 50, and then have the bounce somewhere down here. You know, maybe they pass the Clarity Act while Bitcoin's down here. I don't know. So what I'm saying is basically either it's going to pump from, either Bitcoin's going to pump from here back up to 100,000 and above, or it's going to crash down here, have one last leg down to 49K, and have the bounce from there going back up. Either way is what I'm saying. Either way, whichever way it works out, we're going to have a bounce at some point. And this bounce is going to be the manufactured spike. And it's going to cause the blue chips to pump. The blue chips meaning XRP, XLM, XDC, ADA, and the like. You know, Theta and all of these blue chips, they're going to pump really, really high. But this pump that's coming for these blue chip coins is going to be basically like a trade. You're not supposed to be in them or thinking about being in them for long term yet. It's going to be a trade. So you're going to want to take profits as soon as they pump up really high. Don't think of it as being in them long term. No, you want to think of being in them long term after the Bitcoin flash crash to zero. That's when you want to think of, you know, buying them for long term. The next pump that's coming for these blue chip coins is, think of them as a trade. You see, you're going to want to take profits as soon as they pump up and get out, because what's going to happen afterwards is the mega crash, the mega dump for Bitcoin and all of cryptocurrencies, except for a few other prophetic meme coins that will act as a hedge against the crash. Except for those cryptocurrencies, you're going to want to take profits and get out of the markets, because anyone that does not, they're going to be completely and totally wiped out, even as I've seen it. So that is what I know is coming, and this is all based off of several different revelations that Yah has given to me in different visions and dreams. I put them all together, and that's what it's telling me. The manufactured spike is coming very soon, because we have coins like Kishu Inu that is already taken off and is going parabolic currently. Same thing applies for Lunk. And this is, all of these coins going off is going to cause a spillover effect. And if these coins are pumping, and we haven't yet even seen the manufactured spike, one can only imagine how high they're going to pump once that manufactured spike comes as well. You see. And as for Kishu Inu, I'll be speaking about that come this Saturday. You see, because that pump has only just begun for Kishu. So this is what I'm seeing in the charts, guys, and I wanted you guys to know about it. It's very important. We have to pay attention also to Bitcoin and see what it's doing, and listen out for these people as regards the Clarity Act, because I know that the manufactured spike is coming, and it will be as a result of these folks, as a result of the government. They themselves will do it deliberately. They're going to cause the market to pump before it proceeds to crash down to nothing, to zero. They're going to do it deliberately. It was made crystal clear to me in the experience, guys, that they intended to crash everybody, to wipe everything out after this massive pump that we're going to have that's coming up. And I don't know what will be the exact top of this pump. All I know is that whenever I see 133,000, it's a sign that zero is coming. It's a sign that What's going to happen next is the flash crash to zero. Not necessarily saying that 133 will be the exact top. It's just a sign for me to know and for you guys to know that yes, what's coming next for Bitcoin and the cryptos, zero is coming next. So guys, there you have it. I'm not going to make this video any longer. I just thought I had to share this information with you all to make all of you guys the wiser so that you do not get caught up in their schemes. So, the Lord bless and keep you all. Peace, shalom, until next time.